Happy first day following this beautiful full moon, also called a pink moon, in the astrological sign of Scorpio. I'm Kathryn of Vivacious Dish, and I'm excited to be joining you once again to tap in and tune in and to spend a few minutes here together to reflect on some of the energies that are coming up and to go on a guided meditation journey together, just to kind of tap in to some of the emotions that might be coming up. As many of you know at this point, the full moon energy can bring up a lot of emotions. The full moon is also a time to check in and to reap the harvest of the intentions that we've planted at the new moon 2 weeks ago. So this full moon, this particular full moon, has a very interesting planetary alignment with the sign of Saturn. And Saturn is a planet that's all about creating stability in our lives. So what's happening right now astrologically is that we're having this opportunity to really connect to this notion of preparedness and steadiness and potentially responsibility. So I know for a lot of us, especially with the start of the spring season, we've been working on setting intentions for maybe areas of our lives that we've wanted to clean out or build new habits around. And what we're seeing now, especially if we've been working on some of that over the last 2 weeks since the new moon, is that this full moon is kind of the crystallization or solidification of some of that new energy, these new habits we've been cultivating, these sorts of things. So it's really an opportune time to just kind of continue to settle into that practical aspect, and with that, to call in support from life, from the world around us, from our community, and also support from our ancestors. So what's been coming through for me around this full moon is really sitting in circle with my ancestors and our ancestors and feeling a deepening level of connectivity to those sorts of energies. So to all that is part of us that maybe have come from our past, those that have come before, and tapping into their wisdom, really having this opportunity to access that deep wisdom, and at the same time to find distinction between that which is ours and that which is theirs, and what we have responsibility to potentially carry forward and work on in this lifetime, and also that which we can release and let go of as we get more clarity and alignment with our calling and our purpose in this lifetime, and that which doesn't need to be continued to be worked on. I know for myself, sometimes I can feel these energies come through, or parts of myself where it's like, I'm not exactly sure where that's come from. There might be something that comes up or something that triggers a certain response, and it's good to just check in every once in a while and to say, is this mine? And is this something that is for me? Or is this something that is not mine that I can let go of? So I find for myself that when those questions come up, or when things come up that I can't quite pinpoint, but I know that they're drawing a response, it can be really helpful to just check in, and even to check in with the ancestors and to ask for support and guidance, and to say, is this something that is for me to carry at this time? And oftentimes the answer may be no. And when that happens, then it's an opportunity to just release and let that go, and to say, thank you. Thank you for paving the path and doing the work before me, so that I might focus on new things in this lifetime, and the things that I'm really being called to bring energy to, and to let the earth kind of ground and do that healing. So with those intentions in mind, and this beautiful full moon cycle that has just begun as the framework for all of this, I'd love to drop in with you now and to check in with our ancestors too. So just close your eyes for a minute, take a couple deep breaths, and just get comfortable and settle into your body. Start to breathe in. You can release any energy that might have come through these full moon cycles, the powerful full moon. So you might be having some emotions coming up. Maybe you've been feeling a little bit of resistance or just sticky energy in your being around the energies that are happening with this moon, or even maybe some resistance to feeling this responsibility or building habits. Sometimes when we build new habits and patterns and we're calling in new energy and just a new way of being, we can bump up against resistance, because as we change, there's sometimes parts of ourselves that want to kind of hold on to the old and say, well, this is what I've known, this is where I've come from. And it's like, no, I can just let that go. You can be present here now and trust your wisdom and intuition and that which you're being called to create right now in this time and space. So just take a couple more deep breaths. Really feel into the energies of that. Get present here. And as you start to drop in, I want you to just allow yourself to be carried to a beautiful clearing under a bright sky, under the full moonlight. You can just see that bright full moon just casting light down around you. You can see pretty clearly, because that full moon is so bright, the lines and outlines of a beautiful forest around you. And you're sitting in front of a warm fire, and it's just crackling, and you can feel the warmth washing over your face and body, and you're wrapped up in a blanket, just really cozy, relaxed fireside, and really just connected to all of life, the whole natural world around you. You can feel yourself really grounded on the earth and connected there. Just be present in that moment. Feel the warmth of the fire. Really tune in. Take a few more deep breaths there. It's just you sitting under the moonlight by this beautiful, cozy fire. And as you sit there and relax around this beautiful hearth of the earth, I invite you to welcome your ancestors to join you there. These can be ancestors of recent lifetimes, maybe many lifetimes ago. These might also be animals or protectors or guides that are walking with you now, that have wisdom and support to share with you. Sometimes these could be gods and goddesses from many, many, many lifetimes ago. So just welcome in all of the support energies, all of the wisdom of the ages to sit in circle with you now. And as you welcome in your guides and ancestors, you can just start to see them sitting around the fire with you. They're also warm and cozy there, and you feel really safe. It's safe. It's this energy of connecting with old friends, family members, the wisdom of the earth, the animals, your spirit animals and guides, just everyone who has wisdom and support for you. And just allow yourself to be present with them. Maybe tune in, just thank them for joining you there. Thank them for all of the wisdom and guidance they've shared with you up to this point in your life, whether you were aware of it or not. They've been walking with you throughout your life journey. And you can just enjoy their presence there. Maybe start to feel into your body. See if you can notice any parts of yourself that are connected in any way with webs or ties or emotions, or even a physical expression of your connection to any of these ancestors. Just notice that. You can also check in with any of those things that you're noticing and ask those parts of yourself, is this truly mine to carry in this lifetime, or is this something that can be returned now to this ancestor or guide? And you'll know exactly which are for you now and which are not. And either way, you can thank your ancestor or guide for giving you the opportunity to experience that part of yourself. And you can either keep it or you can give it back to them for them to carry and ground. And just keep checking in with yourself. Give yourself a few more moments. And each time you come upon a part of yourself, you can just ask, is this mine to carry now? Or is it a nice time to send that back to where it came from? No judgments here, whatever it is. Sometimes these parts of ourselves are gifts. They're part of our being, and they're tools that we will use in either now or in the future in this lifetime to help support and guide us, and those can be very valuable. So some of the things you might notice that are part of your being are those tools, and you want to hold on to them. And you can ask, if you're curious, what might this be for? And the answer might be, save it for later, or this is exactly what it's for, or maybe there's parts of yourself, tools that you've used in the past that have served you that you no longer need. So whatever those things are for you, you can keep them or you can return them to sender. Whatever feels aligned for you. Just continue to sit in the circle. A few more deep breaths there. Thanking each ancestor who has gifted a part of themselves to you. You can, like I said, return them or not. You'll know what's right for each piece. Once you've completed your scan and given thanks to each of those tools that have been shared with you, I now invite you to just smile around the circle and connect with each ancestor and guide and animal sitting with you. Just acknowledge them, acknowledge their presence and beingness. Acknowledge all the support that they've given you and continue to give you, all the guidance and wisdom in this space. And as you start to check in, see if there's any messages or things that might be helpful for you to be in tune with at this point in time. So you can ask the question now, ancestors, guides, spirit animals, supporters, what would you like to share with me at this time? What might be helpful for me to know? And just see what comes. Allow that wisdom to be carried into your sense of awareness, and at the same time allow that to be amplified and really illuminated in this bright moonlight. And as that wisdom pours out and into this space, you can tune into the energy of the fire in front of you, kind of this warmth and coziness. So really taking in that wisdom with a lot of joy and brightness as you're illuminated and bathed in this warm, supportive light. That wisdom is for you. Allow the fire plant a seed of that warm wisdom in the center of your being, so it's easy for you to remember and access whenever you might need that wisdom. And then you can also check in and ask if there's any actions or things that you might be called to do at this time. You can ask for guidance on any aligned action for you. So more specific maybe than that wisdom or some feelings that might be washing over you, you can check in and say, what actions may I take or would be helpful for me to take at this time to step forward on the path that I am being called to walk in this life? And see what comes with that question. Perhaps it's something simple, some wisdom to listen or to open the heart, or any sort of wisdom. Those are just examples, but allow your ancestors and guides to give you that wisdom now. What might be a tangible action to take? And as you receive that action fully, see if you can make a commitment in some way, shape, or form. Perhaps that's a symbol. Perhaps one of your ancestors will present an actual tangible gift to you that's a reminder of this commitment to action, or that can help reground you once we close the circle with that. Sometimes those things can be feathers or rocks, something from the earth. Sometimes it's something very specific and distinct that's unique to a particular ancestor. But just see, perhaps they want to present something tangible to you now that you can see and connect to, a symbol of some sort, or maybe it's a color or a word that flashes before you, whatever kind of tangible item that can help ground you in that commitment to action moving forward. So just receive that. It's just for you. It's perfect for you. You can thank your ancestors for sitting in circle with you. Take a few more deep breaths. Thank them. Thank them for the tools that they've provided. Thank them for receiving those tools back for those that you were called to return at this time. Thank them for the wisdom and the call to action and the tangible reminder of that commitment and call to action. With all of those things in mind and now integrated into your being and knowingness, I invite you to just take one more cozy soak up of that warm firelight and look up at that bright full moon above you and thank your ancestors for inviting you into this sacred circle. And you can leave them there in the meadow, around the fire, under the moonlight. They're there. They're just going to keep that celebration and support and that flame of light, that firelight burning for you to always be able to tap back in and tune in. You can take a few more deep breaths and re-enter the present space and moment. Eyes open when you're ready. Welcome home. So as any feelings or emotions or commitments come up with this full moon cycle, you can just remember that you have all the support you need. You have all these ancestors and guides walking this path with you. They've paved the way for you through their paths, and you are whole and ready and have all the tools you need that are exactly perfect for you on this journey through this life.